Hey everyone, welcome back to the farm. It's Brad with Batchelder Family Farms, and today going to take a little time and talk about our company outside of the beef with the buffalo, KC Buffalo, and talk about what it is, why why we sell buffalo meat, how it's going, and kind of our vision on where we hope everything can go. So stick around. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate that. If you enjoy the video, give us a thumbs up and ring the notification bell for future videos. Stick around. So a little history on KC Buffalo and kind of what I like to do. I used to be a teacher and a high school basketball coach, and I was a history teacher. So I love telling the history and the background of things. So buckle up. You're going to get a little history lesson. So one of our neighbors out here where we live, his name is Peter Cole, started raising buffalo in Kansas City area in the 1980s. Peter had spent some time in Montana on an Indian reservation, and he was a teacher there. So when he came back, while he was there, he got to spend some time with bison. And when he came back, he wanted to start raising them. So he kind of taught himself from scratch. He had never had cattle, never had any animals. Trying to get Peter to do a kind of history, let us interview him so we can post it. And it's going to happen. I just don't know when yet. But Peter comes back to Kansas City, starts a buffalo farm just south of Belton, Missouri. So these animals right here, these are the reason that makes this experience more unique than anything else we've done here on the farm. Being able to get to interact with these animals that have been in this area in the Great Plains for thousands and thousands of years, and they're still around today. And hopefully, as more people get to know about these animals and get to interact with them, their herd size keeps growing, they keep expanding, and we get to keep these animals here where they belong. So I was lucky enough that Peter would allow me to come up and help every once in a while. And this past spring in 2023, Peter had sold the property, but wanted KC Buffalo to continue. Jenna and I been raising Angus cattle and hogs with the Newmans and the Newman farm, and we were selling pork and beef, kind of like he was. We didn't have a store yet, but now sitting in the store here at our farm, where it actually used to be, where Jenna and I and our 4 kids, who are now 2 to 9 years old. I've got one of them right here. Here's Dean. Say, what's up, Dean?
What's up, Dean?
And we're lucky enough to be able to convert this into our store. So when Peter asked if we were interested, we didn't know how we were going to fit it in, both having off-the-farm jobs, but we knew we wanted to continue. So luckily, we have a very good friend, Zach Elgin. You've seen him in some videos. If you watch Ty's Rides, he's in a lot of those. It's old Lefty. If you haven't seen Ty's Rides, go check it out. He does a lot of biking, mountain biking, gravel, riding trails, and I'm not big into biking, but I really like those videos. They're super informative, and he sees some cool things while he's out biking, so go check it out. So Jenna, Zach, and I decided we were going to make KC Buffalo ours. Worked with Peter, bought a bunch of animals. We have made a bunch of cuts, converted this old living quarters into a store, and we've been off and running since June. We've learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes, but one thing that's there is, luckily, we love raising these animals. These animals are yes, they are a lot like cattle. So my background, Jenna's background of raising cattle, there was a lot of familiarity there. Ooh, that's a tough word. Anyway, there's a lot of knowledge there, but they aren't just like cattle. There are some major differences, and getting to know those differences has been quite a lesson. And the other biggest thing, you just saw Dean here, is our kids. Our kids love the animals. Our kids love all sorts of animals. If you watch our channel, you can tell. And we want to continue exposing our kids to different animals and different opportunities to live off a farm And hopefully one day, Jenna and I and Zach can all have this be our full-time job. That's kind of the vision where we want KC Buffalo to go, continue to ship to people around the country, to sell to people, have people come out to our farm, be able to experience the buffalo and other animals, and get into more businesses, grocery stores, things like that. We really enjoy making those personal relationships and being able to provide a service to those people, and just love getting to interact with all the different people that come out to the store and get to know their story while they get to know ours.
Dad, are there E's on my hand?
What do you think?
I don't know.
So some of the biggest things we get looks all the time, especially at the city market. People are like, buffalo, ew. And understandable, there's a lot of different thoughts on different kinds of meat. So everybody's has the right to their own opinion. We love the meat here, and along with us loving the taste of it, it's healthier. There's more protein, less cholesterol. It is a way better Drex. It's a way better protein than almost anything else we offer. Whether it be chicken, fish, beef, pork, it is such a high quality protein. Good job, Chief. Good job, Dean. So some of our products that we sell, you've looked at a little bit of them before. This right here is our most popular, our bison summer sausage. It is absolutely outstanding. If you have never had it before and you were looking for anything to try of ours, that would be the first thing. We have these Tatanka Slims that are very similar to the summer sausage. They are just in a smaller form. And then our old timer jerky. It's a really tender jerky, and these are all very popular items. We go through a lot of it down at the farmers market in Kansas City, and people really love them. My kids love them, and it's sometimes hard to keep in stock. And then anybody who's a true jerky lover, this is almost like a cowboy jerky. It's tougher. It's a buffalo jerky. It's made from muscle, the buffalo, and it is really, really good. It's got some seasoning. Something else that is great to try if you like jerkies. So something fun, well, I think it's fun that we're doing this year. Zach's mom, Linda, who one of the bison's named after, came up with the idea of doing these gift baskets for Christmas, and we've sold a few of those. They're really neat. They've got some different of the tabletop items, hats, shirts, stuff like that. But what I want to talk about now is our cuts. You can tell here in the store we've got pork, we've got beef, and then these 3 freezers are filled with bison. And we have all the different cuts, just like you would on beef, plus a few things. Broken Hatchet Brewery, local brewery here in Belton, great people. If you ever go to Belton on Main Street, definitely give them a try. It's well worth the stop. We've got roast, flank steak, everything that you would find from beef. They're both bovine animals. The bison has as well. I think the biggest difference in taste is that a bison is a really sweet taste, and to me, beef is more of a juicy taste. Both really good flavors, just different. And actually, this steak right here, which I'll show you the difference here in just a second, the ribeye steak, the bison ribeye steak is my favorite steak of any steak. So you can tell right here, the steak has some good marbling in it all the way down. And this is a bison ribeye steak. If you were ever going to start with anything, start with the bison ribeye. Compare it. Now, this is a big beef ribeye, but this is one of our beef ribeyes, and the marbling here is phenomenal. This is an outstanding steak, but I love this. I might choose a beef tomahawk steak over a bison ribeye. So one of the easiest ways, the best ways for the bison herd to grow is for people to enjoy their meat, and that is also a hard part of it. What we are trying to do here at Batchelder Family Farms, KC Buffalo Company, is now, while these animals aren't animals you'd ever want to fully trust, I am very cautious when I do have to go into the pen with them. You just never know. But we want to be able to create an experience where people can come out and get to know our animals and get somewhat of a hands-on experience with them behind these big pipe steel fences where we can create as safe of an environment as possible. But for people to really get to know these animals like they've gotten to know cattle and sheep and goats and pigs for so many centuries. These animals have unique personalities. They are very spirited. We have grown attached to many of them. And any of them that come here like this and in an area where people will interact with them, these are animals that are going to stay on our farm that we are not going to process. Drex, stop it. And they're going to be here for people to experience. And these will be our starter herd to add more animals to. We feel like getting them in a smaller area like they're in right now is going to help them adapt more to people. And whenever they are going to join our herd, they will spend time in an area like this where we're going to feed them before we let them out in the rest of the pasture, with the rest of the herd. So hopefully there is some process of them calming down to an extent. Drex, they're going to get you one of these days. But while we know that will never fully be the case for us, at least they will have quite a bit of socialization with people. All right, we've got one chore left with the buffalo today. Drex is barking at him again. Dean, want to tell him what the last chore is? You know what it is?
We did pick a handle up with the tractor till it's
one of those hay bales?
Till some of the vines off and then feed it to the buffalo.
We got to take the net wrap off.
Net wrap off.
All right, where do you think we should put one here on top of this hay? On this pile that we've had before?
No, I think we should put it right by Chief.
Right by Chief? All right, and then we got another one over there we'll put, so we'll get a couple bales in here, and then we'll call it a day for taking chores, right? Doing chores? All right. I tell you what, the only better thing than having a farm is having good help. Like Dean here. Luckily, all 4 of our kids love to come out and help in the farm. So, you ready to go feed these buffalo? All right. Okay, so feed them right now a couple of our smaller bales. These are bales we had to buy. They're twine wrapped. I don't like them as much. But this is pretty good hay. They've eaten it really well. And we've got, probably 30 more bales of this left. And we'll keep feeding it. I don't like taking it out into the pasture to feed because this net wrap or this twine falls off all the time. So I cut the wrap here and then I dump it over the fence so I know I get it all off. But we'll get them cut and we'll get them fed. Took forever, got the twine cut, getting these buffalo fed. Oh, you're right. Sorry, dude. Is that a good one?
Dad, you got a bill.
Yep. We got to pick up the other one now, don't we?
Now on Chief's side.
We're going to do this one and the bale feeder. You know why we give them one loose like that, like we did?
Yeah.
Why?
So they can have some more color food. They can eat better.
So they can what?
Eat better.
So they can eat better. The other reason is, and you might be able to see Chief especially, they'll get all the hay off of it, they'll hit it with their head a little bit, and it'll give them a nice warm place to lay, which buffalo don't need that like cattle do, but I still like giving them a little extra bedding. Thanks for following along today. Hope you enjoyed. You staring much there? Hope you enjoyed our video. Just wanted to try to give you a little history on KC Buffalo Company and what we do and why we do it. Don't do a lot of just solely videos like that. Don't like hearing myself talk that much. But I want to make sure that everybody knows our story, what we do, why we're doing it, and we'll continue to tell it and grow it. Hope everyone stays well. You got anything else to say, Dean? This is dangerous. Nothing?
No, Dad has to go.
Say go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, and Dad has to go there too.
Nah, I'm not going in there today.
Dude.
All right, until next time, hope everybody stays well, and we'll see you back here real soon.